What's up, guys? Welcome back. It's hot. So, long story. I have 3 cats in this truck. Well, I get the Y pipe for the ARH long tube headers. I get the 2 high flow cats on the Y pipe. And I added a 3rd cat. I'll show you real quick. I added a 3rd cat. So you get the headers, you get the Y pipe with the high flow cats. And over the crossmember, I added a 3rd cat to try to control the CEL with the long tubes. It didn't work. I put the O2s behind it. Didn't work. So I'm taking that cat out and putting my cutout back in. I have other things I'm going to try, but triple, quadruple zero steel wool, and I know I haven't tried that yet. But here's the Granatelli cutout I bought a few years back. It worked great, but after about a year, it stopped working. And I took it off, and I took this boot off, and I found out why. The wires that connect the motor are really thin. Basically, it's just disconnected, probably because of moisture or heat. I don't know. But heat or moisture would be a problem with a wire that thin. They should be thicker. And I don't know if this even works anymore. But I'm going to test it before I put it on. But what I'm going to do is clean these connections, and I'm going to solder on a heavier duty wire. And then I'm going to have to make a connection here to the smaller wire, and hopefully that does the trick. Kind of sucks this happened, but it is easily fixable. And I'm hoping once I get the new wire on, soldered, I'm going to put this boot back on. And in the first video I made about this, when I did the installation, I put some silicone here to keep the moisture out. This does seal pretty good on the boot, but again, I might just put a little silicone here as well, just to keep it tight in there. Other than that, everything else is in good condition. I mean, the welds are great. You know, stainless does its thing. When it's under your truck, the grime turns colors. This tip's still good. The V-band's good. So I'm gonna cut out that cat I put in, and I'm gonna put this back on, and again, I'm gonna test it first, make sure it works. So I really miss the cutout. I miss it. I miss being able to hit the switch and get some loud noise, you know what I mean? I put a bigger muffler on. It's the quietest muffler Lou's custom exhaust has. It's also kind of big. But, see it right there? It's stainless, but you know, it's got baffles, it's quiet, because we're trying to get this thing down. I'd rather have a quiet truck and be able to hit a switch and then get loud, and then when I want it quiet again, I'll hit the switch, close the cutout, and then I'll be, you know, back to kind of quiet. It's not quiet. I mean, compared to a MagnaFlow or straight pipes, straight through design mufflers, it's very quiet. But I'm also, this is down tuned. I had Jay cut some fuel because of that catalytic converter I have in there. So once that comes out and the cutout's back on, you know, we'll have straight flow going through to the muffler. And I'll put my tune I had before, because that cat was really cutting back, causing back pressure. So I got a solder gun. I'm gonna clean this off and get the new wires on. Let's do it. All right, let me get my solder gun. Oh, the gun drawer. So if this happens to you, like if you have a cutout, Granatelli or any other company, stops working, it could be the motor, but it might also be the wiring. In this case, it's the wiring. So far, and I'm gonna cut back this wire probably halfway, and then do a reconnect with the slightly heavier duty wire through the boot, and reconnect it. All right, strip the insulator back. I'm gonna strip these a little bit. I always want to do it easy with small braided wire, because then you take some of the braids off and it's worse than it was. All right, so that's what I did. I got about 6 inches, got the plug, got the boot on there, and the wires are ready to be connected to my heavier duty wire. I got this 18 gauge wire. It's a step up from the size that fell off the motor, braided. And you can tell the difference in thickness. It's way thicker. This is probably 20 or 22, but I'm going 18. It's what I got. I'm not going to run out for this, and I have to first see if this motor works first, but just what I got. It's automotive wire. So it's like heat resistant, it's good for the elements. And it's single wire, so I'm gonna run 2 wires separately, and I'll tape it up through the boot. So I'm gonna heat this connection, heat this tab up, soften the old solder, and pull this wire off. Kind of heat the other side up too, kind of get smooth again. Here you go. Don't want to go too hot because you don't want that heat going into the motor and killing it. Little wire brush action. Brass wire brush. Nice and gentle like. All right, she's clean, ready for a little flux and some solder. Soldering kits used to come with flux, little tube, but I'm a plumber. Well, I'm not a plumber, I'm a carpenter, but I do plumbing, so I got a little bit of flux. Gonna prep those tabs a little bit so the solder will adhere. So I just noticed there's no hole. Usually there's a hole in these tabs so the wire can go through and you can get a nice solder on both sides and through the hole, and it holds nice. There isn't a hole, so I'm gonna drill a little 5/64 hole through each one of the tabs so the wire can go through and I can solder the crap out of it so it's really strong. I scratched that. I'm gonna do 16th. That was too big because the tabs are too small. So 16th drill. Yeah, now I can stick the wire through it and give it a nice solder job. Nice fat bead of solder. I already did the left side. I thought the camera was on. It wasn't. Oops. All right, through the hole. Hooked it. All right, they're both connected. Sweet. Cut my length. Go to the boot. These are soldered really well. I'm gonna add a little thin bead of silicone there, just to seal it up. Not too much. I'll be able to take it off. I put a little bit. Just a little thin bead of some caulk. Hopefully this works. You know what I mean? Hopefully it works. Just don't want any more moisture in there because it could potentially happen again, even though the wire is thicker. But I'll put a little silicone here as well. All right, it's sealed up. All right, give it a little twirly. I'll wrap them. Alright, those are soldered pretty sweet. Wrap them with some electrical tape separately. Wrap these wires together and see if I got a boot to slap over it. Alright, take the wires together separately. This isn't the best way. Heat shrink wraps better, but I like soldering over connectors because this is just, soldering's better. I used to do systems back in the day, soldered everything, but they're separate. And just tape all this, and I have a little Chinese finger trap material to go over it, just to protect it from heat and stuff. I got the insulator on. I taped over that as well. This is a little overkill, but you know, I only want to do this once. And these cutouts, you know, Granatelli's intention wasn't to use these all year round, snow and rain. These are for, you know, off-road use only. So dry climate, you know, when you go to the track. But I'm just trying to make it so, you know, when I do drive in the rain, I don't drive in the snow, but when I drive in the rain, I just don't want any water getting in there. I'm ready to slap it on. Gotta go cut the exhaust. Kind of a downfall of having a lowered truck. I gotta jack it up a little bit so I can get my big butt under there, man. Stock height, you can just roll under there with the creeper. But we're lowered, so I gotta jack it up a little bit. All right, I got one O2 sensor out. The other one is not coming out. It's just not. So I'm gonna have to order new O2 sensors. I probably should anyways, because when I blew 2 pistons when I had the Pro Charger, those are the same O2s that the oil blew through when I popped the ringlands. They should be replaced. So I'm gonna replace, well, I have to replace them now, so. But I gotta cut that pipe right there and drop that cat down. Cats are obviously restrictive. This is a big one. All right, so I got the cutout ready. I gotta call the dealership and grab a couple O2 sensors for the back. Hopefully they're in stock. I got my VIN number. I also got to go to Lou's Exhaust and get a pipe cut, and I'll bring it back and fabricate it to fit. But it's open header right now. I haven't heard this thing start up that loud, and it's been a while. So you're gonna hear it right now, that's for sure. It's gonna be obnoxious. The neighbors are gonna remember who I am, because I've been quiet for a while. Me when I got the heads on. It makes the whole truck vibrate. It's like I'm at the track. Makes it feel like a whole other animal when you have open headers. Alright, so now it's time. I gotta take this cut off Y pipe and I gotta test it first, make sure it works. I'll drop the plug down. I have it underneath my truck. It's already hooked up. And I'll plug it in. Make sure it opens and closes. I'll have to use the video so I can tell. And I went to Lou's Custom Exhaust. Had them make me a 24-inch pipe and put a male adapter on for the V-strap clamp. That's gonna hook up to ARH high flow Y pipe. I got it this long because if this thing does not work, for some odd reason, this will take place of the exhaust that I'm missing. But if this does work, then I will most likely just cut this right around here and just take what I need. And that side will hook back up to the tailpipe, the rest of the exhaust. Did a pretty good job on the MIG too. I also got new rear O2 sensors. I got them for 90 bucks at a dealership over near I live, Dodge dealership. But if anybody's interested to know what the numbers are, they have to look up, your VIN number, the last 8 of your VIN. But for me, this is what they are. They're both the same. I got it plugged in. Hopefully that thing opens and closes. If it doesn't, then I'm gonna have to put the straight pipe in. But let's see. Check the video. I have no idea if that opened or closed. Hopefully it did. All right, cool. You saw it before I did it work, so that's good. It did open up. Just want to show you guys where I hide my wiring. Like O2 extenders, any wiring you have. See this heat shield? It's really malleable. Right here. Bend it down. I tuck all my wires up there, get them in nice and tight, and then I push it back up and curl it back up because this stuff bends really easy. Get it pushed up as high as they can. That way the water, when you drive in the rain, as you can see right here, all the rain that spits off the drive shaft when you're driving it. But putting it up in there will help protect it. All right, glad this thing works. It's going in. I'm going to take this sleeve off. I'm going to attach it to the back end of the exhaust. Then measure this, attach this, cut it, and attach it there. And we're good to go. This Granatelli cutout it's back to life. It's Frankenstein, man. Just a little wiring problem. It's not a big deal. The motor works great, though. Nice and quiet, open and close, great. Just removing the bung plugs from the O2 holes. And this one barely came off, man. That's scary. Almost stripped. That would have sucked. PB blasted and everything. That's trash. Bank, too. That one's nice and clean because it's up higher off the ground. It's still nasty, though. I'm not using it. No. This is what a new bung hole plug looks like. That's what it should look like. Not that. They don't last very long. Bunghole. Bunghole. How's your bunghole? You gotta block up your bunghole with a nice quality new bunghole plug. I'm gonna slide. Cut on. I know it's supposed to be, the cutout should be as close as you can to the front of the engine. Front of the exhaust, but 10 inches isn't gonna kill anybody. I'm not going to lose like 0.3 of a second in the track because I'm 10 inches away. Clean the burrs on that. I don't have a, well, I do have a chop saw, but it's only one cut. There you go. I'm painting my rear end, man. That's it. Got a brand new one too, so I'm gonna rotate this up so the nut isn't kissing rain and dirt and grime. I want it to come off again someday. That's all set. I'm gonna rotate that up. Keep away from the drive shaft. Where's my nuts? I gotta plug in the cutout. All right, that's installed. It's all set. Wires are out of the way from the headers. The heat shield's bent up. All the wires are hidden. Start her up, and again, it worked during the test. Hopefully it works now. Move this over so we can just make sure it opens and closes. This is closed cutout. Really can't hear anything, just wind. I'll open it. Night and day difference. Let that exhaust scavenge out. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I brought the Granatelli back to life, just a little thin wire. I upgraded it to a thicker wire. Glad that was the problem, not the motor, because the motor's working just fine. Alright, till next time guys, have a good weekend. Peace. Man, I need gas so bad right now. I'm over here doing WOTs. I gotta get gas or I'm gonna break down. I was gonna let it rip, like do a nice long WOT. Ain't happening. I'm riding on fumes, man. I don't know if we're gonna make it to the gas station. Like, it's beyond low. I've never been this low before. And I'm a gas station snob. I'll only go to Gulf, Sunoco, and Mobile. I won't go anywhere else.
It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people.
I don't go to Urban, but I have to go to Urban right now because that's the closest one. I'll just put like 5 gallons in there. I'll top it off with some Sunoco 93 pump gas. Woo! I made it. Got me some Petro. That's right, 5 gallons of that crap gas. Now we at the gas stations of gas stations. Sun Oil Company. Sun no go. You know. Gonna get me some 93 pump gas, buddy. That's right, that's the good stuff right there. Gonna fuel up with that good Petro.